New year, new wheels. It's what you should be doing. Literally, I have nothing else for you. Buy a set. We got some great deals on our website right now. Pick up new wheels, tires, mount and balance, shipped to your door for free. Hit us up. We got you covered, right? So, fellow car nerds, today we're talking about one of the most beloved head gasket destroying rally monsters to ever tear up a dirt road, the Subaru WRX and its rowdier sibling, the STI. Now, if you've been around the automotive block, you've probably heard these three letters more times than you can shake a stick at. In parking lots, in track pits, on the internet, on forums, WRX. The code for fun, turbocharged power. You throw an STI badge on there and suddenly you're referencing head gasket, I'm kidding. Torque, hood scoops, giant wings, and that signature Subi rumble that has made fanboys and fangirls swoon for decades. How many head gasket jokes will I add to this video? How did this unassuming Japanese automaker, famous for quirky wagons and family-friendly sedans, reliable transportation, become a rally racing legend? Why do Subaru loyalists rock those bright blue paint jobs with gold wheels like it's some kind of uniform? And what makes the WRX and the STI so addictively appealing that owners can't help but drop $15,000 to make 400 wheel horsepower out of their EJ25? We are about to find out. Today we are tracing the WRX all the way from its humble origins to the track-dominating superstar that we know and love. We are covering rally racing, we are covering turbo technology innovations, we are covering random controversies, and how Subaru ended up capturing the hearts and minds of gearheads around the world. Stick around, you will be armed with enough Subaru lore to hold your own at any car meet. Impress your date. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't talk to your date about Subarus. Seriously. Speaking of which, if you are looking for new parts for your Subaru, wheels and tires specifically, check out our website, threepiece.us. We do not have a factory rally team. Be cool if we did have one, but we do know how to hook you up with wheels and tires that fit your WRX. 18 by 9.5 plus 38, all of them, ever, by that size. Now let's get into the story about one of Japan's most iconic performance cars, the WRX and the STI. Before the world recognized Subaru as the brand behind an all-wheel drive, turbocharged juggernaut, the company was quietly doing its own thing in Japan. See, in the mid to late 20th century, Subaru was known for practical, economical, boxer-powered family cars featuring, you guessed it, all-wheel drive, useful in snowy, rainy climates, but not exactly screaming rally champion. Things started cooking though when Subaru decided to take motorsports a little bit more seriously in the late 1980s and early 1990s. What came out from Subaru around that time? Think about it. See, around that time, rally racing was red hot, especially the World Rally Championship, the WRC, where superstars like Lancia, Ford, Toyota, Mitsubishi battled for global supremacy. Subaru decided, you know what? Frick it, we're gonna throw our hat in the ring. And this was a bold move. The engineers at Fuji Heavy Industries, Subaru's parent company, had a not-so-secret weapon, the brand's symmetrical all-wheel drive system and a punchy, torquey, flat-4 boxer engine. Now all they needed was the right platform and a little dash of adrenaline. Enter the Impreza. The first Impreza launched in 1992, and while the base model was an economy car, it was lightweight, it was decent handling, but it was nothing mind-blowing. You weren't buying this for performance, you're buying it to get to school. Subaru wasted no time though, giving it some rally-inspired upgrades, and by '93, Japan saw the debut of the WRX, stands for World Rally Experimental. Subaru stuffed a turbocharger into that 2-liter boxer, dialed in the all-wheel drive for performance, and created something that would soon become a cult favorite around the world. Suddenly, Japanese streets were home to a small sedan that could keep pace with actual sports cars, especially once the twisty roads came into play. The WRX hammered home its point. You did not need a fancy, big horsepower V8 coupe just to have fun behind the wheel. Give it a turbo, give it all-wheel drive, and let that boxer engine sing its unique tune. Subaru was not done there though. They partnered with ProDrive, a British motorsport engineering company, to tackle the WRC. And before long, the Impreza WRX was making waves on rally stages around the world. Names like Colin McRae, Richard Burns, and Pater Solberg started popping up, each bringing Subaru rally glory on the global stage. McRae, in particular, became synonymous with the brand, winning the 1995 Drivers' Championship at just 27 years old. An achievement that turbo-blasted, no pun intended, Subaru's rally reputation into legendary status. So back in the showroom, where Subaru actually sold cars, Subaru capitalized on these racing successes. The formula was straightforward: rally on Sunday, sell on Monday. You got that rally pedigree, you got a turbo boxer engine, symmetrical all-wheel drive system, and you got instant street cred. The average Joe could buy a sedan that looked pretty close to what the pros were thrashing around hairpin turns on dirt roads. Mitsubishi had the Lancer Evolution, Toyota had the Celica GT4, and then some other stuff. But Subaru, it had the WRX. And this set the stage for the emergence of an even more hardcore version, the STI. So we're a little short on head gasket jokes at this point, but I'll work on it for you guys. Now, by the mid-90s, Subaru Technica International, STI division, was cranking up performance goodies, testing them in rally environments and sprinkling that magic dust onto production cars. The result was the Impreza WRX STI, a car that took everything you liked about the WRX and turned it up just a little bit. More boost, better suspension, beefier brakes, better aero, and that pink STI badge. On the outside, you could easily spot an STI thanks to, guess what? Its giant rear wing. Yes, the same one forever, and those gold wheels that are practically iconic now. Under the hood, horsepower numbers climbed into the 270 or 280 range in Japanese versions, and fans quickly realized these cars were underrated from the factory. We made a whole video on this. It's the Japanese gentleman's agreement. Some people said it even made more power than advertised. Now add in the raw driving experience, the noises, the vibration, the addictive boxer rumble, through an aftermarket exhaust, a precise manual gearbox, and you had a recipe that was a blast for any enthusiast. Now, of course, there were multiple STI variants, especially in Japan. You had the Type RA, the RA Spec C, the S201, S202, S203, the list goes on and on and on and on, and each one boasted small tweaks or major overhauls. Some had less weight, others had big turbos, others had better aero. Subaru also limited certain trims to the JDM market only, which fueled the desire of overseas fans. See, we gotta ask, why do the coolest cars always stay in Japan, right? Still, the WRX and STI soon found their way all around the globe, especially once Subaru started exporting these cars to other markets more aggressively. And by the early 2000s, American enthusiasts finally got to get their grubby little hands on a legit WRX in 2002, and then the STI in 2004. No longer did you have to rely on weird illegal gray market imports or drool over JDM magazine covers. You could walk right into a Subaru dealership, sign some paperwork, blow 2 head gaskets, and drive off in a turbocharged, rally-bred Bug Eye WRX. I hate the Bug Eye, by the way. I do. But drive off enthusiasts did. WRXs and STIs became hits among gearheads, college students, rallycross hopefuls, and anyone that wanted that giant killer performance. Who cared if the interior was a bit plain or the gas mileage was a bit questionable or head gaskets? You had all-wheel drive, robust turbo boxer, and a big grin plastered on your face every time you mashed the go pedal. See, one of the biggest reasons that the WRX and the STI rose to legend status was their dominance in rally racing during the 90s and 2000s. Subaru's rally team, sponsored by State Express 555, became a fixture on rally stages with those signature blue and yellow liveries capturing hearts and minds around the world. Colin McRae's 1995 victory set the tone, and Richard Burns followed suit, ultimately taking the Drivers' Championship in 2001, further cementing Subaru's place in rally lore. Rally fans loved the fact that the car that they saw bouncing across muddy forests was basically the same thing that they could buy off the lot, minus some safety equipment, seats, blah, 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 and sponsor decals. That synergy between motorsport and production was a huge marketing tool for Subaru. See, win on Sunday, sell on Monday, that was in full swing at this time. And you know what? It really worked for these guys. And meanwhile, pop culture started paying attention. Video games picked up on it first, Gran Turismo and the Colin McRae Rally series. Put the Subaru WRX STI front and center, letting teenagers drift it around virtual corners. Even if you couldn't afford a real one, you could at least appreciate it on your PlayStation. That interest, of course, bled into the real world. As soon as kids got old enough and saved enough or asked mom and dad, they would try to get their hands on a WRX or an STI. Can you imagine having a new WRX in 04, how baller you'd feel? Anyway, tuning shops latched onto these things as well, discovering that these cars responded incredibly well to modifications up to a certain point, right? A little more boost of free-flowing exhaust, upgrade the injectors, you could slap 50 or 100 extra horsepower onto your WRX without much drama. The all-wheel drive traction helped you put that power down, making them quick off the line. Yes, there were occasional reliability hiccups, right? Like ringland failures or snap gears in 5-speed transmissions. But the community accepted these quirks as part of the Subi life. You Subi people are delusional, by the way. Great, thank you, love you guys, cool, but I don't know how you live with that. Now, every generation had its quirks and pros and cons. You either loved the Bug-Eye, the Hawkeye, worshipped the Rumble, appreciated the potential for mods, and by this point in time, the WRX or the STI, they were cultural staples of the automotive scene. If you went to a car meet, a track day, a rallycross event, an autocross, anything, literally anywhere, Subarus were there, typically parked in big packs all together, owners bonding over whose blow-off valve sounded the best. Subaru didn't just remain static though. Over the years, the WRX and the STI saw a whole bunch of iterations, platform changes, and engineering tweaks, sometimes huge, sometimes tiny. Enthusiasts have lively debates over which generation is the best. I like the VA, personally. Some swear by the GC8, the original Impreza that started it all, claiming it was the purest expression of the WRX spirit. Others love the GD, the 2002 to 2007, whether it's Bug-Eye or Hawkeye, or I think you guys call it Peanut Eye. Because when the US market finally got the WRX and STI, it marked a huge cultural milestone. Within the GD, you do have the Bug-Eye, the Blob-Eye, I knew it was something, the Blob-Eye and the Hawkeye front-end designs, each with its own mini fan club. Which one do you like? Then you have the GR, 08 to 14, where Subaru switched to a hatchback or a wide-body sedan for the STI. Some fans adored the practicality of the hatch, while others missed the old-school styling. I think these looked really good, by the way, and they look really good fitted with like T37s. Now, the VA came in 2015, introduced a new platform with more refined handling, but also the notorious FA20 engine in the WRX. The STI soldiered on with a revised version of the older EJ engine, which some purists saw as a blessing, more tunable, and a curse, older tech. Every generation has its pros, its cons, its quirks, its share of controversies, whether it's the new engine sound or lack thereof, or the plastic fenders, a larger body, interior changes, yet Subaru loyalists always find something to love, be it the performance potential, the all-wheel drive system, or that intangible feeling of being part of a storied lineage. Now, another debate, sedan versus hatchback versus kinda sorta wagon. Subaru has experimented with a whole bunch of body styles over the years, and fans can get very opinionated about which one is best. The wagon loyalists point to its practicality. Where else can you haul your dog, your groceries, and a set of track tires while still outrunning a Mustang on a back road? Sedan fans say the trunk is all they need and it looks more aggressive. And hatch fans are forever mourning the loss of the 5-door STI in the US. I think that the 08 to 14, the wide body one though, like 11 to 14, looks really, really good. Now, one truth remains regardless of which side you stand on. The WRX and STI refuse to be boring. That might be why they've stuck around for so long and why there's always a new rumor or leaked photo, spurring endless online debates about horsepower figures, chassis codes, or that perfect Subi rumble. So where are we at today and what's next? Well, in recent years, Subaru has faced tighter emissions regulations, shifting consumer preferences, and the global wave towards electrification. The brand announced the end of the EJ-powered STI for certain markets, leaving many fans wondering if the golden era of rowdy boxer turbo sedans is finally drawing to a close. The 2022 and up WRX introduced the VB, a fresh platform and a new engine variant, but no official STI version has been released for this generation at the time this video was scripted. This uncertainty has some enthusiasts feeling anxious. Could Subaru pivot towards hybrid or electric performance? Hybrid could be cool, electric and. Could we see an STI badged EV? Or maybe, just maybe, Subaru's got a secret plan to introduce an even more potent STI down the line. Now, people might grumble about the styling or the specs, but the brand's core DNA, turbo boxer engine, manual transmission, all-wheel drive, has proven too popular to abandon easily. Meanwhile, the used car market is absolutely bursting with older WRXs and STIs that still command relatively strong prices for their age and condition. Clean examples that haven't been modified or hammered by 10 years of track abuse bring some money. And in some ways, the older models are becoming modern classics. Enthusiasts snap up GC or GD chassis cars as project cars, collector pieces, or weekend warriors, and they bring some serious dollars. The sense of community remains strong. SubiFest events draw crowds who show off everything from show builds to rallycross machines to their daily drivers. And Subaru probably has the biggest cult following of any brand other than like Jeep. Will Subaru, though, ever find its way to merge its rally heritage with the demands of a greener automotive future? If one thing's for certain, though, fans will keep on waiting, complaining, celebrating, and modifying every WRX or STI they can get their hands on. So let's wrap it all up. From unassuming beginnings to rally domination. the Subaru WRX and STI have carved out a permanent slot in automotive history. They're the poster children for all-wheel drive performance. They are beloved for their distinctive boxer growl, their practical designs, and their unmatched tuning potential. It's the car that taught countless gearheads that 4 doors does in fact mean... I can't say that.
Please, later, you don't understand.
But 4 doors and a turbo can offer as much excitement as any big-name sports coupe, often at a fraction of the cost. Along the way, Subaru used motorsports success to charm us, forging an unbreakable bond between fan and machine. Yes, there have been controversial design changes. Yes, mechanically, they are a dumpster fire. If you want to make 400 horsepower, good luck. And some heartbreak when Subaru decides to not give certain markets the best goodies. But hey, that's kind of part of the Subaru mystique, right? You can spot a hardcore Subi fan from a mile away, the excited gestures to talk about EJ versus FA, the jokes about ringland failures, head gasket failures, the unwavering loyalty to a car that is just weird enough to stand out in a sea of Camrys and Civics. So what if the future is uncertain? Well, the legacy is already here, parked in driveways and blasting through rally stages and on mountain roads around the globe. Every time you see that hood scoop rolling up in your rearview mirror, you know something special is behind it. The WRX and STI might evolve, might morph, or might even fade away in name, but the impact they've made on car culture is unmatched and certainly not going anywhere. And if this trip through Subi history inspires you to snag a set of wheels or tires for your own Subi, guess what? We're a wheel company. Did you know that? You can click the link down below. You can buy some 18 by 9.5 plus 38 wheels. They fit every Subaru ever made. I recommend ZR10s, like these ones right back here. They're really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.